Okay, this morning I'm painting Soda Master Candy, so Candy and Cola from Super Dungeon Explorer. This is one of the first edition ones, I believe, because it's metal. Okay, I've already sprayed it with Necrotic Skin Primer, which is my favourite primer at the moment. So, hopefully you'll be able to see this. Trying it at a different position. So the light's this side now, wet palettes here, paints are all in front. And I've got my visor on as well, and a little image down here to follow. So let's give it a go. Now the majority of this one, to start with, seems to be sort of turquoise and flesh, but I'm going to start with Cola down the bottom. And I'm going to start by doing his little outfit. There's a bit of brown in here. Just put a little bit of glaze on my wet palette anyway, and then I can just use it as and when to put in with the paints. Okay, so I'm not worried about it being too dark because I put a dark wash over the top anyway. Let's just get some brown in there. As I said, hopefully you can see this. As usual, I never quite know where the camera's pointing because I'm not standing behind it. It's on a tripod pointing towards me. So now we'll just brown all that in. So I know his hands are poking out. The image I'm looking at is slightly different to the miniature, as they are most of the time. So you've got a little bit of artistic license and a bit of play with trying to copy what you've got in front of you and what the actual image has got on it. Alright. That's him all done in there. And it doesn't help when you've left your water supply in the other room for cleaning up your brush. So let's just get a bit of water over here just to clean off my brush. Right, I'm now going to go with, that's done, let's go with a bit of flesh. I think I'm going to do the smaller areas of flesh on Candy and then point the turquoise over the top if I get it in the wrong place. This isn't actually the first one of these I've painted. I've painted one before for somebody else in Germany. So sometimes it actually helps that you've done one before because it gives you an idea of how you're going to paint it. Although hopefully with each one I do, I improve. Now I can't quite see the detail up there. I know that she's mainly turquoise down her arms. Paint that in there. Alright, we're going to do a bit on the back. So sometimes it's difficult to see because there's lines and stuff, but you're never quite sure what the lines are for, or from I should say. As I say, looking at this, it looks like most of her arm is turquoise with just her fingertips showing through, so we'll just go across the front of the fingertips, a bit of flesh. As I said, I'm mainly going to paint the turquoise upper arms anyway. Then after I've done the turquoise I'll do the metal. I see there's a tiny bit of flesh on her legs. That's here and in here. I'll be a little bit careful going near that brown. Right. Okay. I keep trying to dip my brush in my coffee. Let's just down that to get that out of the way. Right, quick glass of the head dry. Right, so I haven't got a lot of colours to actually use. So I want black next. So I want black yesterday. Let's put a bit of black on there. Again, I'm using quite a large brush at the moment, but it's only because I'm just rattling through this bit. Just blackening the eye sockets. For now, again, it doesn't have to be too particular. I like to be a little bit neat if I can be. Oop, that wasn't supposed to go up there, as you can probably tell. Possibly should use a slightly smaller brush at this point, but hey ho, it's just what I had in my hand at the time. And as I said, at this point with all the shader and everything still to go on, etc. I don't need to worry too much. Now I'm not going to worry about Cola's eyes or nose yet. I'll do that later, probably because I'll have a smaller brush in my hand. I can't actually see this. Can't see the strap going up the back bit, right. And then there's a black bit through her hair there. And the strap. Right. Looking like that so far. So I don't know how close that image is. Never know. Right. And as I always do, put some black into the grooves on the base. So I'm actually starting to run out of Super Dungeon Explorer miniatures to paint now. I think I've got around about 40, possibly less now, because I did a couple last night and this one this morning, and I think I had 40 before I did them, so I'm maybe down to 36 now. And when I say down to, the only things I'm missing are the new arena one they brought out, and there's a new boss, I believe. The second edition of the Roxor Caverns is possibly something I'm not going to get, because for me, I don't need something I've already really got before. Okay, there's some nice new sculptures on a few of them, but I've got so many other things to paint and play and all the rest of it, I haven't really got time to do a lot of repeat ones that I'm not going to get used. It's going to be hard enough to pick and choose from the obviously the few hundred I've already got to play this game. My problem is I paint more than play, so if I have to stop painting for a bit to play a game, it's going to have to be a sort of quick choice and play. So having all these expansions is fun to paint, but not necessarily good when you want a quick game, because you can't choose which ones to use. There's some seriously nice miniatures that I'd like to get in a game as well, just to see how they play. But I'm very excited about Legends coming out, and I'm not exactly sure when the first wave it's going to turn up. I had heard rumours about March, but that may not happen, because as everybody knows, Kickstarters never turn up when they're supposed to. And I've got to the point now where they'll turn up when they turn up. I'm currently waiting for 3 that should be due any day now. Right, so that appears to be all the black we need on it for now. As I said, I'll sort out Cola's map and everything a bit later. Right, so I want to do turquoise in a minute. That's for that, that's the hair. Let's do Cola. Push it down with a slightly smaller brush here. Get a bit of glaze medium in with the bony spike. And a little bit of a light yellow on this version. Right, there's a little hole in there. Again, at this stage, as long as the colour's in the area I want it to be, I'm not too fussed, because obviously I'll go back over it anyway and highlight it, etc. Again, I hope you can see something of what I'm doing, because I don't know if I'm holding this in too far in or too far back, because as I said, I'm not behind the camera, so I can't quite see what you're seeing. So it doesn't really matter too much about all that in there. So we've got ears done, face done, a little paw in there done, can't see the one around the back, and then, as I almost always forget, he's got 3 tails on the back. I'm not sure you can actually see the fur around there. That's Candy's leg. Let's just put it around there really. Okay, quick brush with the hairdryer. Alright, next bit. Now, for now, I'm just going to do a sort of pink. If I get any to come out, give it a load of squirts out. Right. That's fine. Some of these dropper bottles are great, some of them are not so great because they get jammed up. And a bit of glaze on that, just to thin it down a little bit. Just do the little bit on the front of Cola on the outfit here. Alright, now I'm going to put it through Candy's hair for the time being. This is just the first colour, because I normally use a fluorescent pink in her hair, mainly because I've got a bit of an obsession with the fluorescent colours. I quite like them. I've got a fluorescent blue, green, pink. I've also got a bit of an obsession with some of the metallics at the moment. I did the Starfire Dragon the other day. I actually used a red metallic on him rather than paint him just red, and he looks really nice because he shines in the light. Oop, got a bit of black on the wrong bit there, but again, it'll get sorted out later. There's like hair in there as well. Where the hell that's come from? With cats, get cat hair sometimes stuck when you spray them. Bit too much paint on the brush there. Story of my life, always overdoing it rather than underdoing it. Deadly silence. Ooh. So this is not exactly a time-consuming miniature as far as I'm concerned. I don't want to make it look nice, obviously, but there's not a lot to it. Although Trent last night that I was doing, I mean, he pretty much was 7 colours, and obviously black and grey on the base, so there wasn't really a lot to him either. But I've painted him before as well, and when I previously owned Forgotten King, I sold my original copy off to actually pay for an eBay job lot with another copy of it, and the booty box and some other extras, so it worked quite well. But then I've obviously had to paint a second copy of it, and sometimes painting it again, it's not always as much fun, but then you can improve on what you did the first time. But sometimes it can be a bit more fun trying to do better than what you did the first time, because I've got pictures of the original Forgotten King I did, and the mooks and turnip heads I did this time are far superior than the original ones I did about a year ago. Right, that loose little hair's still there. Nah, it's gone now. Right, so we're looking pink hair, flesh, getting there already, looking quite cool. Right, quick hair dry blast. Now, on this little backpack thing on the side here, there's some little orange markings. So I'm going to see if I can get a tiny bit of orange in there. Maybe a bit of a struggle. End up making more mess than I need to. And this is a slightly old Games Workshop one, Burry Orange. It's getting on a bit now. A little bit of orange in this bit here. I was trying to do little squares, but it didn't quite work out as planned. So there's orange squares in here at the moment. And I'm just going to make it easy to just go over the top where I don't want orange. Just put the black squares back in the centre. Okay. Right, getting somewhere. We're pretty much getting down to the last few colours. Now, I'm just going to quickly go back and use a slight bit of flesh with a slight bit of pink. Not quite that much pink. Just going to do this for the inside of Cola's ears. Which I nearly forgot to do. We're going to go fairly dark anyway when I put the wash over the top. And in the image I've got around Cola's waist is a blue belt. It's not really showing on the miniature, but I'm going to put a tiny bit of blue across the front because I want to. Just breaks that pink up a little bit as well. A little blue belt on the front there. Right, where are we at now? So pretty much a lot of turquoise and metal coming up here now. I think I'm just do a black hilt on this blade she's got in the hand. It's the image I'm working from. She hasn't got this sword, so I'm not entirely sure what colour it was meant to be. And for me, it's black. Okay, right, I think now It's time for some turquoise. Now, I'll get my other brush. Yeah, let's blubber this turquoise. Stick it on here, and maybe a bit more. Use some of the glaze medium I've got next to it. Possibly too much on this brush. That should be right just for the bigger areas at the moment. And switch back to the brush in a second. If there's any slight accidents or whatever, will be repaired afterwards anyway. Probably the point where I switch to a smaller brush because I'm getting a little bit close to bits in there that I don't want to cover in turquoise. Right. I guess where the straps are up here because there's not kind of lines to follow. Tiny bit of glue there in the wrong place, but it's sort it later. There's to be some kind of line there, so I'm assuming that's a bit of strap. Make sure I don't do the fingertips because they're supposed to stay pink. Right, where are we at now? Bring it round here with that. I think I'm happy with that hand. And this bit will be with silver in a minute. Alright. Or should I say happy with that hand? Happy with that arm. Again, leaving the fingertips pink. Or flesh, whatever colour you want to call it. Bear in mind the hair's pink. And that turquoise under there. So roughly done by the image, it's just got some kind of turquoisey glove on, or fingerless arm glove, whatever you want to call it, with metal upper shoulders. Yep, nearly splattered it one in the face there. So again, my visor's probably getting in the shot again, but having to lean forward to get slight backache standing up too long trying to do these things. especially when I'm trying to get you guys to see what I'm seeing. So, there we go. I'm kind of turquoisey now. Yeah. I'm going to just do a tiny bit of turquoise on that centre one up there. I've just noticed there's a bit of pink missing right near the sword blade down there. So at this stage I've pretty much got metal breastplates, metal shin sword, bit in the hair. So, time to do some metal. Glass for the headlight. Right. Bit of gunmetal now. Tiny bit of glaze with that. And I'll start picking up all the metal bits. Now, I'm not sure if I should use a metal, silver or white, but I'm going to leave them turquoise at the moment and then possibly add some silver to them, just for the hell of it, highlights, whatever you want to call it. Now I don't want to completely cover the front of that chest plate, because I want some of the turquoise still to show through. Otherwise it just looks like she's wearing metal. And I'm going to do the whole of the dagger sword, whatever you want to call it, because it's gunmetal, but I'll probably change the hilt to something else later. Still not quite sure what. I may just make it silver, who knows. I'm not going to be doing any more painting today because I stupidly only got one figure here to paint. Everything else I've left at work, and unless I drive back to work, which is 3 miles away, I'm going to be doing anything else later. So this is the only one you're going to get out of me today. I want to sort through some of the miniatures I've just been painting, home them, etc. I'm going up in the background. Pretty soon my wife and daughter will be downstairs. I've started to do these early on Sunday mornings before anyone's sort of moving about. And then once I've done this, unfortunately I end up doing handspec, etc. Right, let's just have a look. What have I missed so far? I have missed the bits on the arms and a little bit in Cola's bag, which I'm assuming are little bottles. Just going to put a little bit of a metal tinge to that. I've slightly hit the black down there, but I'm not worried about that because I'm going to sort that out in a minute. I've also slightly got turquoise on one of them things in her pocket there, so I have to sort that out as well. Right, let's just put these little bits on the back of her arms. Here we go, there's the wife coming down the stairs. Sneaking into the kitchen in the background. That's basically where I'm standing up in the kitchen. Right, so she's getting there. just going to go tidy up a couple of bits I've noticed. As I said, it doesn't have to be too perfect, but you know how some of us painters are, never satisfied until we've got it absolutely dead right, or absolutely as dead right as we want it to be. So I'm going to have to add some orange back to that later. Black back in there, black back in there. Tiny bit on the hairband. Yeah, that's a tough call because it drops into the gaps anyway, and I know that the there we go. So now I'm going to do a deep shader with some glaze medium after I've just done a quick hairdryer. Alright, deep shader, right back glaze medium. So I'm going to get ready in a minute to go back in. The highlights, etc. I won't need that. I need all of them ones back again. I won't need that. As I said, you can't see what I'm doing underneath, but I've got various paints here. They might be being picked up on the camera. I honestly don't know. Right, bit of glaze medium, the deep shader. Let's just clean that brush up. I think that brush has got a bit of blue still in it. Let's try a different brush just for the purpose of getting this done quickly. Just going into all the recesses here. Shock. Shouldn't say this to wife in the background, I'm being very quiet. I'm only joking. Just in case she watches this video, you see. I'll kick my butt normally. All our martial arts skills. So because this miniature's metal, it dries nice and quick. Anyway. So, after the deep shader, now we go back in highlights. So I'm going to put a little bit of ivory over here because I know I'm going to be using ivory on a lot of different places. Not because I want them to be white necessarily, but because I like to lighten them up in bits. Right. Okay, I'm going to start at the bony spike and just highlight a couple of little bits of Coda's ears. Bits on his tail, as I said, I don't want to make him look too clean. See, I do putting the shader on in the first place. I like my miniatures looking a bit grubby, like they've been in action, etc. Now, there's a little bit up the sleeve here, which I'm going to make dark, so black that in so all you can see is a little pulling out. I know you can't see that, but I can. And now we're going to put in a little nose. His eyes. just about see. And this little added thing, it's slightly really pink. I'm going to put a couple of little dots for its cheeks. I can get this in roughly where I want it. I knew that was going to happen coming in from that angle. It's just so I don't know if you can see that, but it's got a couple of little cheeks, nose. Now I'm just going to do a tiny bit of pinky and flesh back in the ears, just a little bit towards the top, because obviously the bottom bit is going to be darker anyway. I think we're getting close to the end of the cola. I'm going to put a little bit of pink down the front there. As I do the colours, I tend to delete them off my to-do section up front. Now I'm not actually going to do anything with the brown because where the shader's gone on, it's made it different colours anyway. But what I am going to do is see if I can add a tiny bit of silver, because in the image it does look like it's got either a silver or a grey going around that robe. I'm not sure which. Probably grey, but silver stands up more. So just going to add silver in the last part of the base. I can't see anything under there, so we won't worry about trying to get around that side. Now we've got one arm here, and the other one's hidden, so tiny bit. And here. Again, you can see that a little bit around the arm, kind of around the bottom of the base there. Okay, and while we've got the silver out, I'm just going to touch what I think are the tops of little bottles in the bag. Unfortunately, I managed to put a tiny little dot in the pink area I don't want. Get rid of that. And a tiny bit of grey to grey, brown even. Front part of that. I think I'm going to go with that being a little bit of a buttonhole tie at the front. Now we're just going to add a little bit of silver in. Yep, fairly happy with colour there. I think colour's sorted. Right, so I've got the silver out. Add some silver here and there for the metal areas. As I said, I'm not quite sure what colour the shoes are, so I'll leave them turquoise. On the front, I'm just going to add a couple of silver in there as well. So that might make his shoes look very shiny. But say in the image they look kind of blue, silver, white, I'm not sure what. So I'm just gonna draw some silver along. Never looks like she's got faster shoes. Whatever you want to call it. Around the back there. Down that side. Down that side. Okay, this is starting to look cool, as we'll call it. Now the headband. Okay, back and do a bit on the back of the arms. So the longer I take doing this, the what's the word? Oh yeah, the less housework I'll be doing. I'm only joking. Once I finish this, do the housework, spend the day with the family. So I'm not doing any more painting today, unless I nip back to work to get some miniatures, which is highly unlikely. I just want that edge bit to be silver on this one. And I think I'm going to just do a bit of silver in there. Actually, I'll do the edge of this silver as well. I don't know if that's an extra bit of metal there or what, but whatever it is, it's now going to be silver. There we go. I'm going to add a bit of watered down gunmetal and silver together. With a little bit more gunmetal and silver there. Just going to go slightly over that back edge there. Just try and blend it in a little bit more. And draw some of it back as well. So it looks like it's bright towards the top. Okay, so I never quite know if that looks any good or not. Yeah, you make sure the top edge there is a bit more silvery. Okay, so still got turquoise in here. I'm going to do a tiny bit of silver in them edge bits. I really want it to be dark in there. Now, I've already got turquoise out, so let's just add a bit brighter on the top there. So where are we at the moment? Probably need we've done with that, we've still got to do the flash, we've done with the metal, we've still got to do some turquoise, we've done the cat. Alright, so I've still got about 7 or 8 paints here to mess about with. Let's get some in the image I've got. She's got her mouth open but no teeth showing, so I don't worry about trying to do any teeth on this one. We are though. It's a little bit bigger than I want it to. Sometimes I wonder why I bother painting it black when I'm going to do most of it white, but yes, I know I just got the hair there. Doesn't make any difference, the hair's still got work to be done on it. It's always the way, isn't it? One eye goes really easy, the other eye's a pain in the butt. Okay. Let's get a bit of, let's get a little bit pinkish. Not go too pinkish. A little bit of this pink horror. Add that into the mouth. One of the things you sort of come up with these ideas and you think, this should look a bit daft like that. I might put some row of possible teeth down the bottom of that. I'm not sure I'm happy with that yet. Right. We're now going to try something here. I'm not sure how that's going to work. I'll put some yellow into the eyes. A big yellow into the eyes here. Almost taking out everything, because as everyone knows, Chippy's got massive great big eyes. So I'm looking like that at the moment. As I said, I might dabble a bit with the mouth down the bottom. Okay. I'm starting to run out of colours I'm going to use. I've got about 6. Right, I'm going to go back to this orange, which is on that little bit of the belt she's got. One of them's still fine, but the other one got a little bit by the turquoise. So I'm just going to orange the whole thing, but because it's watered down, the black should come through. If not, I'll just add a bit of black onto it in a minute. Like I did last time. Yeah, definitely not happy with the mouth at the moment. Okay, that's about 6 colours before she's probably done. A bit like that either, just put teeth down the bottom, don't like that. I'm going to change it back to a black line. It's got a thicker black line at the moment. I don't know. Change it back to a black line and possibly add a bit more pink in later. So she's looking like that at the moment anyway. Okay? Right. So, let's just hair dry that off for a second. Right. I'm now going to, because I want the eyes to like a sort of yellowy orange colour. This is a very, very watered down browny orange. So I'm going to see how this looks on top of the yellow. As expected, it's doing exactly what I hoped it would do. It's showing through the yellow. Sure, it's sort of browny yellow eyes. I'm still may play about with this. I think I'm going to draw a little bit of pink in here. I'm just looking at the image I've got in front of me. I don't think you'll be able to see this pink, so I may give up on this. Give her a slightly lighter pink in the mouth. Turn up the front line a little bit. Alright. Now if we go in with the... Oop, there's a bit too much paint in there. Still don't know if I'm happy. What kind of pink sort of... Yeah, I might put a tiny bit of yellow back in there. That's what I said. It's a bit that takes all day, isn't it, the end bit, because you just keep looking at it thinking, oh, I could do this, I could do that, you can improve in this, you can improve on that. Sorry, all you can see is the top of my head and the visor. Yeah, a bit better. Okay, now go back to the bit of ivory, bit of turquoise, a bit more turquoise there, to make it too much lighter. Just a couple of highlights here and there. What about going on the grey there? Grey. Going on the black there a little bit because I've still got to put some grey on that. So we get to hopefully that kind of stage. Okay. I'm going to do a tiny little bit of lighter stuff on the top here. Quick blast of heat. So I'm going around in circles here, sort of finishing off a little bit. A little bit on the end of the brush. Okay, I'm getting happy with it now. So I don't want to make that turquoise too light because it isn't really light. I just need a bit on the belt. I've just realised that she's got kind of a whitish skirt on, so I'm going to add something to the base of this. It's taking a little bit longer than I thought I'd take on this, but then why not? It's a special character. It's just a tiny bit, as always, right in the middle. Where you don't want to touch anything else. And you always do. There we go. It's got a little bit of a whitish bit on the skirt, even through the legs. Right, I'm getting as happy as I'm going to be with this, I think. So, a tiny little bit there. I'm going to just add a touch more there. Right, quick dry. Knuckle area on this side. Down there. We're all good on that bit. I'm actually going to put a tiny bit of silver behind that. That don't quite look right. Sorry, I keep moving out of shot, don't I? So this is slightly in a different position this time. The light's here, whereas before I had the light that side and I was on the other side of the kitchen. And all you can probably see is my big gut hanging over the top here. Right. So now, since the eyes are basically dry, let's see if we can get this shape into the eyes. Yeah, won't be doing any painting next week. My daughter's free. Well, she's not free next week actually. She's free on the end of the month, but we've got a party next week. So I won't be doing any painting via video. Okay. Getting there. Just want to go with the flash now, I think. So turquoise is done. Black in the eyes is done. Just got hair, flesh and base. So it's taken a bit longer than planned, but who cares? A bit of flesh, a bit of white, a bit of glazed medium. Let's try a bit more white. Which is not overly bright, but that's overly bright. Overly white. Five. So my daughter's not free yet, she's already counted to 20, so it's not bad going. And the fact she can count to 10 in Japanese already as well. So we go to fingertips. Sorry, I keep leaning in front of the camera. That'd be too much longer, was it? My daughter will be in the background. I've got a bit quiet when I'm concentrating on this bit. Even though I've put wash on it, I've got a habit of just going back over the whole face anyway, just not so much under the chin. I want to repair that now for a little bit. Right. Ugh. I'll stop licking my paintbrush when there's paint on it. I wonder if they do a test to see how much paint's in your body. Not like an alcohol test, but a paint test. Sure, half the painters would probably be toxic. No, as I said, most of this paint's water-based anyway, so I wouldn't be worried about doing it. Right. Okay, so now there's kind of some pinky white bits here and there on her face, so we're going to see if we can imitate them a little bit. She's got a little bit on her nose. A little bit on her cheek over here. So you can't really see it that well, but there's a little bit of pink here, here and here. And now, I'm going to just add a little, tiny little white in each one. Yeah, try a little speck of white in each little pink circle. Okay, so at this point here, I'm fairly happy with them. I know I've still got the hair to do, but I think I'm going to sort the base out next. No, I'm not. No, let's do the hair. Now this is either going to go very well or very wrong, because this stuff is really weird. It's also really very bright. My daughter was a Paw Patrol pup this morning. So I don't mind if the pink underneath shows through anyway. I used this on a miniature the other day, and I put it on the spinning wheel, and because of the light and everything, when it came around the corner it glowed in the dark. Quite freaky actually, and funny at the same time. I like my miniatures being a little bit different to other people's anyway, who doesn't? So sometimes when I'm doing Arcadia Quest miniatures, I put teeth on them just for the hell of it, just so they will look different. I suppose everyone has to be individual and have their own little artistic flair to these things. So this is the end process anyway for me. You're just literally going to do the hair, then grey in the base, then every now and then I might add some little white specks here and there. For some reason they just seem to bring it out just a little bit. I don't know when I started doing it, I just started seeing it and thinking, oh yeah, little white speck there, little white speck here. As I said, I know how this will dry, so it will show through some of the pink underneath as well. And I always think it looks cool as anything. So hopefully you've seen a lot of what I'm doing here this morning. I'm trying to go as fast as I can. As I say, when you make mistakes and sometimes you don't know quite what colour you're going to do certain bits, even though you've painted it before, you have to keep improvising and making it up as you go along. But isn't that the fun of it? If we were all perfect, the miniatures would look amazing. There's no point in doing these videos. Just to help some people that aren't so good at painting, or that want hints and tips. I don't mean necessarily they're bad painters, they just might want some hints and tips. Everyone keeps asking me how I speed paint. I just get the brush, have the paints out ready that I think will suit the miniature, looking at the card or whatever I've got in front of me. Just go for it. As I said, you can clearly see I make errors and stuff myself, because I'm not a pro painter, just a fast painter. Oh, sounds like my daughter and wife are going looking for Paw Patrol miniatures. See, now I've done the pink, I actually think it brings the model out. It looks so much better with that pink compared to the other dark pink. Okay. Oh, what's hidden underneath my tissue? Let's just get rid of that pink off there. And now, as I said, I'm just going to go back and just see if there's anything I want to just touch a little bit of white on, just to make it stand out a touch more. What I do is just add a tiny little bit of white, which is like at the highest point. I've still actually got to go back over the belt anyway. And a tiny bit in the hair. Alright, I'm going to add a tiny little bit of white into this very back on it. And add just a tiny bit of white to here, a little bit into there. Might be a little bit too big, I might have to go back over that bit. A couple at the back. I keep putting this kind of like weird, I like little bits of, almost like a halo around the top. And let's say a couple of bits there that went a little bit too much, I'll just darken that down a touch. Over there. Let's enjoy this fluorescent stuff, it's a bit weird. There we go, I'm literally just at the point. Now I'm going to spray, I'm just going to double check I'm happy with the little dots on the face. Yeah, I'm fairly happy with everything. Right, now we're going for grey. Before I actually do the base, I just want to do a couple of grey bits on the black. Bunch of grey through the bands in their hair. So, you totally called this a speed painting one, because I'm not sure when I exactly started. I think I've been going probably about an hour or so. What's the time now? It's 10 o'clock. I'm pretty certain I started about 9:15, something like that. I'm sure this video will tell you anyway, because I'll be able to tell how long I've been doing it for. This is a full warts and all video. And so I'm not worried about what people think, whether they like it or not. It's purely up to the individual. If you find it useful, great. If you don't, you don't. I'd say some people don't even watch to the end of videos. No, I haven't in the past. You know, you spin through to the bits you want to see, don't you, really? The whole purpose of it. You know, scan through, work out how somebody did what to what in terms of painting. some of this may need going over again. Some of the underneath necrotic skin shines through. You always find that you either get white shine through or black shine through or some kind of colour you don't want on there. Sorry, I'm moving away from the camera again. This debris will probably tune out because who wants to see another base being painted? And by the way, I've painted pretty much the entire miniature with either a 1 or a 00. Okay, so anybody wanted to know, because somebody asked me before how I did dots on something. I've only recently gone over to 00s. I just paint miniatures with whatever I can get my hands on. Normally, army painter DL brushes or Citadel DL brushes or the equivalent. And then had like a regimental brush or something a bit fatter for the rest. Got a bad habit of doing tiny bits of dry brushing here and there with the wrong paintbrushes though, which is never good. That's how I kill some of them so much. So, there we have it. I've obviously got to let that dry and then I need to shine varnish it. I may just check the base is totally done. But there we go. Soda Master Candy from Super Dungeon Explorer. Thanks for watching.